Hi lovely people and happy new year, happy 2024. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 24 things that I will not be buying in 2024. So some of these things will be similar to the 23 things that I wasn't planning on buying in 2023 video. I will also make sure to link that video for you in the description box and up in the cards if you'd like to check that out. And there is also some new things on this list. So without further ado, let's get into the 24 things that I am not planning to buy this year. First on my list, we have disposable period products. I have been using a menstrual cup and reusable period underwear and pads for years. And I'm not planning to go back ever, really, to the disposable ones because I love my reusable ones. You never run out and honestly they're just so much more comfortable. I did an entire video on both of these, so I will again have them linked for you if you would like to look into that. But my goodness, the amount of waste that you produce if you every single month use disposables, because you're not just using one. It's insane. You throw away so much that way. And this way I very much am able to reduce that waste, which I love. Second on my list we have Botox and fillers. I have noticed this past year that more and more people are getting these. And honestly, I don't understand why. So if you love this, I mean, go ahead. But for me, I really don't love the look of it, and I really don't see a reason for me to go ahead and get those things done. Yeah, it just doesn't really make sense to me personally. Then we have scrubs, both for the face and the body. So I use a peeling for my face, which I love, and for my body, if I want to use something along the lines of a scrub, I actually have a body brush which I will use and which works wonders. And I don't really love the feeling of the fairly rough scrubs that are out there. Also, a lot of them use microbeads, which not great for the environment. And then other things that I might use can actually be pretty harsh for your skin. So I like using my brush and my peeling. With that, I am perfectly settled and perfectly fine. Then we have shaving cream. Actually, I don't think I ever used shaving cream in my life. I've always just used my body wash. The soap works just fine. Even my facial cleanser, that also works really well for shaving. So I just use whatever I use for my body or my facial cleanser. I don't see the use in getting a different shaving cream or soap if the other ones that I'm already using work just fine for me. And then going with that, also razors. So I use a safety razor. I have done so for years. I still have a pack with the little razors that go into it. So I don't think I'll be needing to replace those this year. I think the pack that I have will last me for this year. And if not, I'll just replace those little razors and not the entire thing. So I don't use the whole plastic thing. And like I said, haven't done so for years. I really like my safety razor. It doesn't irritate my skin as much as a normal razor used to do. And also I feel like I get a much better shave using it. So for me, better all around. Then we have nail polish. So I'm pretty sure I shared this story with you in my last video about things that I was not planning on buying. I used to work for Rituals Cosmetics and we had to wear nail polish on our nails and it completely messed up my nails. So basically since I quit there, which is over 5 years ago, I think, I've not worn nail polish and I don't miss it. I mean, sometimes I'm like, sure, it would be nice to have a little color on my nails, but it's so much upkeep and I just don't want to spend the time or the energy or the money on doing so. So I just keep my nails blank and that works well for me. Then we have foundation. This is something that I never really got into using. I don't like having a lot of stuff on my face and being able to feel it or being able to see it for that matter. So I've never really been one to use foundation. I don't feel like I need it very much. I prefer to put my money and my time towards skincare, making sure my skin looks nice that way rather than covering it up, which I feel like if you're breaking out, it's only going to make it worse, which is not what I want. So I'd rather take care of my skin and be comfortable with showing my skin, even if it's breaking out a little bit, and then covering everything up. And yeah. Then we have liquid laundry detergent. So I've been using the laundry sheets by Browse for a couple of years. I will again have them linked for you in the description box. These work well. They are not heavy. They just come to my house, so I don't have to lug around a heavy thing of laundry detergent, honestly. And it doesn't use plastic, so win-win-win for me. Also, drying balls. We don't have a dryer, but I'm also not planning to buy a dryer. So I'm not planning on buying either a dryer or drying balls or dryer sheets to go with it. I just line dry everything. If it doesn't completely dry on the line, I'll just put it on the radiator and we're done. Perfectly fresh, dry laundry that way. Then we have narrow shoes. So I still need to get a little bit more tests done for the official diagnosis. Most likely I'm dealing with Morton's neuroma, and I can tell you that it hurts. So wearing narrow shoes makes it so much worse. For the past weeks I've really only been able to wear my barefoot shoes, which are nice and white in the toe box, and anything else, honestly, I can't walk in it. It just hurts so much. It kind of feels like you're hitting that little spot on your elbow and you kind of feel that all the way through your arm, that shooting pain. That's what it feels like with every single step if I'm wearing narrow shoes. I can tell you it's not a pleasant feeling. So I'm not planning to be buying any narrow shoes this next year. Hopefully I can heal this situation and end up wearing some of my lovely shoes that I love so much, because I'm not able to wear most of my shoes as it is right now, and it is it's so sad. So I really hope I'm able to heal this with exercises and just giving it rest, giving it space really. But yeah, I'm not planning on buying any narrow or narrow-ish shoes this next year. I cannot deal with it. Next up we have sunglasses. I have 3 pairs, which is plenty. That's all there's to it. Then we have leather items, unless maybe secondhand, but honestly I'm not really planning to buy any leather items at all. I've not done so for years. Last year I did get a pair of leather western boots, which I got secondhand. I'm vegetarian, I'm not buying new leather, it just doesn't sit right with me. But yeah, I'm also not planning on buying that this year. If I really want a leather item for some reason, I can get it secondhand, but definitely not new. Same goes for silk. I don't think I actually ever bought a silk item. I don't miss it. There's plenty of good alternatives in it. For some reason I really want it. I can look secondhand, but I'm definitely also not buying any new silk. Then indoor plants. So we moved into this apartment only a few months ago. Really quite recently. It doesn't feel so recently as it actually is. And I feel like we have the perfect amount of plants as it is. So I'm not planning to buy any indoor plants. Maybe also no outdoor plants actually. But I might at some point decide to get some herbs for outside. I don't know yet. But no indoor plants for me. I love the ones that I have. If for some reason I really do want another indoor plant, I can kind of propagate from ones that I already have, which I love. Then I'm also not planning on buying a new phone or computer, unless for some unhoped reason the ones that I have break. I have had both of these for a couple of years. I love them. They work well for me. I don't have any problems with them, so I don't see the need to upgrade. So if everything goes well and they won't break, I'm not buying any new laptop or phone this next year. Then we have planners. So I am someone who actually really loves planners. the paper ones. I'm not so much a fan of the digital ones. I did try them, they just don't really work for me. But I've been using my bullet journal for years now. I've been using pretty much the same system, slowly tweaking it to be the system that it is right now, and that's what really works well for me. I don't feel the need for anything else, so unless for some reason I manage to fill up my bullet journal that I'm currently using, which I don't expect I will, I'm not buying any new planners. And if I do fill it up, I'm probably just going to get the exact same little notebook that I use right now for my bullet journal and use the exact same system because it works for me. So if you'd like to take a little look into how I use my bullet journal, I will have a video in which I explain it all to you, links up in the cards and in the description box, so you can take a look at that. With that also goes disposable pens. I am someone who loves fountain pens. I have loved these for actually since I started using pens, which is so long ago. I don't even know how old I was. But in school we actually learned to write first with a pencil and then a fountain pen. And I kind of just kept using them. There was a little bit in high school where I stopped using them, but then I got back to them in college, and yeah, I've been using them ever since. I love it. I think there are so many beautiful fountain pens. I think the writing experience is so much nicer with a fountain pen. And also I love that you can kind of switch out the inks and play with that. I love just the way my handwriting looks with a fountain pen. So yeah, I'm a fountain pen girly through and through. And I expect I always will be, so I'm not planning to buy any disposable pens. Then we have plastic storage containers for the kitchen. So I don't think I actually ever bought these. Ever since I moved out of my parents' house, we've been using glass storage containers or containers like food comes in that are plastic, and we just reuse those. That's all we've ever used, and I don't plan on buying plastic storage containers because, well, why fix what's not broken? I like the glass. It just feels nice, it looks nice. I think it just stays nice longer. So I prefer the glass, and for anything that we do use plastic for, just what comes with our feet. Feet? Since when does plastic come with your feet? What comes with our foods. Same with that, plastic wrap. I don't think I ever bought this. I'm not planning to. We have these reusable silicone wraps as well as food huggers. Between the two, I can basically wrap most, if not all, of the bowls and storage containers that we own. So I really don't see the use for buying plastic wrap. Then we have alcohol. And specifically for me to drink. Here's the thing, I never got into drinking alcohol. I really don't like the taste of it. It's honestly disgusting to me. Ever since I was a kid, I could detect it in even like desserts where there was like 0.1% alcohol in it. I could taste it. I did not like it. I just don't like the taste of alcohol, and I don't see a need for me to learn how to drink it, as some people have suggested to me before. I don't see why I would. It's expensive, I don't like the taste of it, it's not necessarily good for you, so why bother? Maybe if we have people over, we might have some alcohol in the house for them to enjoy, maybe for my partner to enjoy, but definitely not for me. Next one, also I drink, is tea in bags. So I've been drinking loose leaf tea for years again. I was already doing so when I lived with my parents, and I can't really remember when I really can't remember since when. I've been drinking loose leaf tea for as long as I can remember. I just like the entire experience. I like the taste of it. There is so many options out there. I like the smells of it. Just the entire experience. Putting it in the little tea thing, steeping it. I like the experience of loose leaf tea. I very much enjoy it. I'm a huge fan of tea. And yeah, honestly, I just prefer loose leaf tea over tea in bags. And also, it's less waste. So again, that's very much a pro for me as well. Then we have coffee pots. I don't have a coffee maker. I don't drink a lot of coffee. If I do, I just use instant coffee. I know, that's very controversial and some people will probably hate that, but it works well for me. I enjoy it well enough for the times that I do want to have a coffee. Instant coffee works, and since we don't drink much coffee here in the house, I don't see why we would change that. So yeah, no coffee pots for me. And then the last one, which again is kind of in the food category, is cookbooks. So don't get me wrong, I do like a good cookbook. I have a couple on the shelf right there, which is one of the reasons I'm not planning on buying any new ones. But also, if I want a different cookbook, I can just borrow it either from someone I know. Now my mom has a couple of nice cookbooks, but also the library has so many cookbooks that I can just borrow and then try out recipes that I want to try out. So I'm not planning to buy any new cookbooks this year. That's very dark there for a moment. So that is it for me for 2024. These are the 24 things that I do not plan on buying this year. Let me know if you agree with any of the items on this list, if some of the items on this list are something that you do enjoy buying yourself. And let me know if there is maybe anything that you are not planning on buying yourself this year. I would love to hear from you in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was maybe helpful for you or insightful in some way or other. If so, please give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to my channel, which would really truly help me out a lot. I wish you a lovely rest of your day and I will see you in my next video. Bye!